All right, we're back. And
I'll be right back.
All right, this guy was in the last safe house. What the hell? Anyway, vampire underboss. Go punch him out in one hit. Reach, hold, and crap. That sounds familiar. I think they literally copied and pasted the missions for this area. Yes. Have you heard of the High Elves? I'm just gonna go do this while he takes a... He tinkles. I bet you I can get there. I can run to it. Tucker, it's a race. It's a race. It's a race. It's a race. I don't know what's with these methane
We better
pipes.
stick together. It's better if we stick together.
Oh yes, it's better we stick together. I built robots. I disobeyed my commander. Devender has an English accent. Say garage. Oh, you guys are now doing like excellent amounts of damage.
Perished.
Oh, but the turrets are like immortal. No, they're not. Never mind. The punching just wasn't connecting. This is something Arkane mentioned. Is like all the punching. I didn't even notice this. They're all the same enemy. Like,
Yeah.
like Mike Tyson. This is kind of dumb though. This is actually.
The fact this was branded as a AAA game is crazy.
People paid $100 for this. If you bought the Bite Back edition, that's $100 at launch. This is a world with Destiny and Borderlands. It doesn't make any sense. And I have a person I won't name on my Twitter who I know is a fellow streamer argue this game is good. Okay.
What was his reasoning?
People are racist because he read a few reviews on Steam where they were complaining that there's a black girl in this game. She's the lead character and shouldn't be. So he said that people who hate on this game are just racist. Bro, this has nothing to do with any of that stuff. Like, you just gotta play this, and if you know games, you know that... You know it's not done. Like, we've talked about that from the beginning, Tucker. More than that, now that we have the inside story of the development, we know that it was a game that the devs didn't have any heart in making. So it's a twofold thing. It's an unloved game, it's a half-baked game, and it's an incomplete game. Pretty much all the things that can go against you, it's got going against it.
And still, Gollum was a worse game.
Gollum is a worse game, I think, simply because it's such a stupid idea for a game. Why is a secondary villain getting their own video game in the Lord of the Rings franchise? A franchise that's struggling right now because of some really stupid content made around it. Like the Rings of Power. And then, of course, it's like, just looks like it's just a terrible game. It just has no reason to exist. Redfall has complete reason to exist. Microsoft needed an exclusive. Needed a AAA exclusive. It just came out and it's, you know, this. It's just shit. That's why Tucker and I are going to try our best to be done with it this weekend. And not look back. I mean, and there's no reason to put a review or any other content out after this. It'll be done. We did it. At some point in the future, I might return to it on my own. I won't force Tucker to, unless it gets really good. And that's all I'm going to test is like, I don't anticipate any more content made on it, but I am curious if Arkane wants to save face and save this. I will say though, it is perfectly acceptable in this world
To cut the losses.
Yeah, to cut losses. Yeah, exactly. The difficult part of that, in this case, is that Microsoft promised a 60 FPS. Can you teleport us across that? Think you can go that far?
Yeah.
All right. So the game's going to get at least one update. In fact, I believe they promised 2 new characters, which seems like that's the most useless content for this game. The game
That's like the least thing.
that is the least thing is new characters, because the characters aren't very unique already. We don't use our abilities. We're literally just punching through things right now in one hit.
The only thing we're using is the teleport.
Yeah. if the game was, you know, remotely difficult, which sometimes it can be randomly completely difficult for no reason, but it just doesn't make sense to release a new character. I don't even know where you start. I guess you start by trying to get these bugs fixed up. Like, get these bugs fixed up, get the server stuff done, make it so you can pause in single player, try to refine some of the bugs, and then just get the game optimized, get it running 60 FPS, because you promised it. So now you're gonna have to put resources into that. Otherwise, you know, you're asking for a lawsuit or for false advertising or whatever else. And then get back to the drawing board and ask yourselves, is the best use of your time and money at Arkane, Microsoft with Arkane, continuing to work on Redfall? What would your answer to that be, Tucker?
Well done, steak. Get it?
You're Microsoft. You got a 5-year outlook. You're getting your ass kicked by PlayStation right now. You got this exclusive. You know that its reputation has been solid. You know, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression and all that. But it's one of 2 exclusives you had out this year. And there are people that paid full price for this game at launch. Is this game worth saving?
It definitely will be worth saving because people will be infuriated if they spend $100 on an unfinished game that just got tossed away.
That's gonna leave a bad taste in people's mouths, right?
Yeah, Xbox would lose even more people.
Which is really sad. Again, Tucker and I are on Game Pass, so it's easy for me to sit here and scoff at this game, okay? Play it because it's new and it's Xbox and stuff, but we're not going to lose sleep over this game. I'm not going to sit here and regret it because, hell, it's an experience. It's really a moment in gaming history that the big, mighty Titan, Microsoft, this is what they put their name on now. But it didn't cost us money. The people who spent their hard-earned cash on this, I feel bad for them. I really do. And that's something Arkane's going to have to deal with. And that's where I say, look, it's worth cutting your losses, but let's think about how much reputation you sacrifice. Because that one guy, Skill Up GG, he was like, don't worry about it. No one's going to blame you for cutting your losses on this. No one's going to ask questions about that. What about the people who paid for it? What about the people who were sold this game? That, you know, and the people who believe in Arkane as this highly reputable, high-quality developer. What's your opinion, Tuck?
At first, I thought it'd be better to cut losses, but that was before I thought about all of the people who
We got some info about
spent money on the bite back.
Unless you want to give them refunds.
Yeah, but that would lose a lot of money.
Yeah. Let's talk about redeeming qualities, since there's so little to talk about while we're in this game. I've already been over this. The article. We're going to the top now. The cave just doesn't want to unlock, but let's not exit this session because of how broken it is. There's only 2 more safe houses too, I believe, so we're really close. Okay, Tucker. 1 redeeming quality of Redfall.
I feel like the...
Do you like your character?
Not really.
You don't like Devender. You don't like his personality, or you don't like his skill set?
I don't like his personality. We already know he's the strongest character in the game, though.
What about his personality bothers you?
Elevator is a perfectly fine word that tells you exactly.
I don't know. He just tries to keep up this persona that he's like he's a hunter. He's this cryptid hunter, and then all the dull conversations that people have, like with Devender, with Remy, asking Devender to pronounce a bunch of words, and he says them weird because he's British. And the American health system pun and all that.
Oh yeah, It's a really shitty game, but for some reason they decided to put politics into it. The real nightmare is the American healthcare system. Why are there guns everywhere? Okay, guys, I think you got bigger issues on your hands than trying to make a statement. And if you wanted to make a statement, you really want to make sure you get a 10 out of 10 out there so people don't care or want to listen to whatever you're trying to sell. So you're saying Devender's character doesn't meet the hunter personality. He's just like this boring Englishman, but he's supposed to be some big badass hunter.
Yeah. It just says stuff like fascinating.
Fascinating. Brilliant.
Fascinating. Brilliant.
Where are we even at in the story at this point?
I don't know anymore.
We beat the Hollow Man.
Yeah.
And then we went to go leave the island we thought we were stranded on. And now we're fighting like literally the freaking sun.
I think it's a vampire called the Black Sun. It might be a god.
Yeah, but that guy, remember, he looked at it through his telescope and somehow he caught the sun. We were talking about it, like how they can stop the ocean, blot out the sun, but the moment you look at them, they die. What was the thing that was like their weakness? Like they can basically change physical reality at any time, both through psychic hallucination and physical will. They can split the ocean. They can blot out the sun, for God's sake. And they're vampires, so it's as stupid as that scene in Superman when he lifts the entire moon of kryptonite. Like, bro, his weakness is supposed to be kryptonite. What kind of weakness is that he can just lift the entire damn planet of kryptonite? Not much of a weakness. Besides that,
You don't understand, Truck. He was super determined.
that's true. He was very determined. So he basically avoided the entire fiction of the whole thing that keeps it together. Because kryptonite is how Batman beats Superman in Superman versus Batman. But in the movie, he flies an entire ball of kryptonite.
Yeah, Batman beat him with a little spear of kryptonite, and then he's somehow able to lift a whole moon of it.
Yeah. Have you seen both those movies?
I saw Batman versus Superman, but I didn't see the one that you're talking about.
That one came out when I was in like middle school. I think it was just called like Superman Returns. It was the stupidest damn thing. At the end of the movie, he picks up a whole asteroid made of kryptonite and flies it off the planet. In the comic book, that's actually how it goes, is Batman beats Superman because he like outthinks him. Because the whole thing, right, is that Batman believes that Superman's too powerful. So it's a risk to the human race to have him still be around, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, with I can't really remember why they fought. The only thing I can remember is the fight scene that they have.
Well, they're all part of the Justice League, but Bruce Wayne is the only person who doesn't have superpowers in the Justice League. And he keeps a list of how to defeat all the different Justice League members. And,
In case they go rogue.
And he comes to the conclusion that Superman is a risk to the human race because he's simply too strong. And that if he did go rogue, there's no way to stop him. So the only way to stop him is to preemptively attack him before he decides to attack. It's a cool comic, but I heard the movie's really bad. What did you think of the movie?
I didn't really care about how good the movie was. The only thing I cared about was how good the final fight was. It was okay. I can show you later.
All right.
The fight goes on for a while. They kind of just go everywhere. They start in an alleyway, then they go into a huge multi-story building, then they get into a bathroom, then they go out into the center, and that's where the fight ends.
That's it?
Well, that's just where all the areas they go
Oh.
while they fight.
Classic Zack Snyder movie, the fight goes on like the Superman movie he made before that, where they go through this megapolis and they can just fly forever and there's infinite skyscrapers.
Yeah. I swear the fight scene took like 10, 11 minutes.
So it drags out too much.
It's not that it drags out too much, it's just that they fight for a really long time. Like, I would understand if it was like an end game level thing, you know, like so many people all fighting would take a long time to finish.
Yeah.
But it's two people.
Well, it is Superman and
We'll scratch
Batman.
that one god and one
Well, he's not a god.
slightly supernatural guy.
What is he? What's the race that Superman is?
He's a Kryptonian.
Kryptonian. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a super powerful Kryptonian versus like a somewhat supernatural guy.
He's just a
'Cause
badass.
Yeah, but in the comics, they constantly give him. He constantly does like superhuman things.
You're talking about Batman?
Yeah.
Well, it's because he's got the bat suit. He's got all the gadgets and gizmos. Not only,
I know, but in the comics, sometimes they changed it up and they give him like actual powers.
oh, okay. Well, the Dark Knight doesn't have any powers. He's just like a badass grizzled old guy with a ton of tech. In fact, he's like starting to slow down. That's the point of the Dark Knight. He's like in his 50s now, and he's physically slowing down, and he's got to fight Bane. And Bane, of course, is this like juggernaut. So he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. He can't make sense of it. He started this mission when he was young and he was angry. And now he doesn't know what to do because he feels like he's definitely outgrown this responsibility.
Wouldn't Bane be old too?
In that one, Bane, in the Dark Knight, Bane is new. The Dark Knight was its own, you know how they do different like threads?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like its own thread. Because Batman's been killed off like 5-6 different times. Same thing with Superman. The death of Superman, that's one of the most famous ones. Where, what's his name kills him? Manhattan or something?
No idea. I've never seen that before.
It's a comic. Ask Siri who kills Superman.
Okay.
As soon as you hear it, it might ring a bell.
Who killed Superman? Doomsday.
Doomsday, yeah. It's a really good comic, and the cover of it's really sweet because it's got Superman's basically laid out like Jesus on the cross, and Doomsday is like just crushing him. There's all these people like looking on, and they're, you know, in horror, and they're aghast because they're watching the hero of, where's Superman from? What's the city?
There's another historical marker.
Krypton.
Not his world. Is he also in Gotham?
Yeah, I think.
He writes. What newspaper does Superman write for? There we go. Good commentary there.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but what's his other personality is what?
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent. Yeah, and he's what, a photographer. He's a photographer for like the Daily Globe.
Wait, that sounds like Spider-Man.
Maybe it's the same paper.
Hold on.
DC is who? What superheroes are DC?
What did Clark... Oh, hold on. What did Superman work as his alter ego? Oh my god.
Just what's...
What does Clark Kent work as? A reporter.
Yeah, he's a photographer. We know that, but she didn't say that. We already covered that.
I didn't say a photographer. I said a reporter.
A photographer is also a reporter. It's just two different ways of reporting. He's not a writer. He doesn't write. He takes pictures. Just like Spider-Man.
Right.
All the vamps are
That
dead.
didn't answer our question, Tucker. We already knew he was a reporter. It was what paper does he write for? Thank you.
What paper does Clark Kent write for? In Action Comics, it is revealed that in a new history/universe, Clark Kent begins his journalism career in Metropolis roughly 6 years before Galaxy Broadcasting merges with the Daily Planet.
The Daily
Along
Planet.
with being a writer for the Daily Star, partly because the editor George Taylor was a friend of his adopted parents, Clark.
Okay, we get it. All right, so he was a writer, and it's Metropolis, and it's the Daily Planet. So I was close with the Daily Globe.
Another safe house.
Got it. Dildo, shut your ugly ass up. Now, who's DC and who's Marvel, Tucker?
Both good.
Batman is DC,
Yeah, Batman's DC. Superman's DC too, of course.
But everybody loves Marvel.
No.
No?
Have you seen the movies they've been putting out? People hate them.
What do you mean? The Avengers is apparently one of the best superhero franchise. Is the best superhero franchise ever.
Yeah, but they've been done for 4 years now.
Okay.
Endgame closed the series.
So you got Iron Man, Spider-Man, Black Widow, Hulk.
They killed off Iron Man and Superman. Thor already got his movie. Hulk got She-Hulk. Spider-Man got No Way Home, which was their latest.
Well, I heard
good
No Way
hit.
Home is great, and I also I've heard mixed things on She-Hulk.
She-Hulk is pretty bad, people say.
Dude, this game is broken right now, more so than usual. We're looking for a key.
They turned Captain America old. They already got Black
What do you mean they
Panther's
turned
movie.
Captain America old?
Well, the original. Did you watch the original Captain America movie?
Dude, I haven't even watched the Avengers movie, except for the first
Okay,
one.
so, well, with the original Captain America, the first Avenger, we learned that he fell in love with this agent, who later on founded Shield. I forget her name, but
Scarlett Johansson?
throughout the what?
Scarlett Johansson? Black Widow?
No,
Oh, damn.
but it's when he's in 1940s.
Yeah, he was made during World War II to fight the Nazis.
Yeah.
So he would be getting old.
He falls in love with this girl during that, but then he crashes. He goes into this coma and he goes to sleep for like 50 years.
Oh.
Or 70 years, yeah. Goes to sleep for 70 years and then he wakes up in that modern world, and as the movies go on, he misses her more and more. And eventually in Endgame, they find out how to do time travel. So after the big battle with Thanos and the Avengers win, Captain America goes back in time and spends his life with her. Had to make sure she was dead.
Yeah, she deserved to die in particular. She was suffering. Okay, so what's the complaint about this? Do people not like that storyline?
No, they like it. They're fine with the Captain America storyline and the Iron Man storyline. It's just the recent movies that the people don't like.
Well, you said one of the issues with the new Marvel movies is that they made Captain America old.
No, I'm just saying like they're running through their movie options. They can't do Iron Man because they killed Iron Man.
Well, they need to take a break. They pump out too many. Like, the revenue, it's like Star Wars. Disney made the best decision possible to just stop. Stop pumping them out all the damn time. Take a break. Take a chill pill. Make sure that the next one you pump out is good. Make them special again. Because they were putting out Star Wars movies that felt like every 2 months. There was just way too many of them. And, you know, eventually they found out that the fans have a limit. And I'm sure that's probably what they were going for, is to figure out just how many of these movies they could... Where'd you find the key at?
It was upstairs.
Just to see how many of these movies they could pump out and still make money. And they found out, you know, you could get away with... You can't make more than 4 a year. And especially if the quality starts to drop. But then they got controversial. But no, like... You won. Take the W. Marvel's Avengers was the best selling movie franchise ever. People loved it. People say it's a really good movie. You liked it, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they made like 3 of them, I think. Well, if you include Civil War, there's 4. Because you got the original Avengers, Rise of Ultron, then you have, if you're counting Civil War, and then you have Avengers Endgame.
Endgame, yeah. So the quadrology then, is like, people like it. It made a ton of money, literally billions of dollars. And I've heard that, you know, it subjects expectations and there's just a lot of things to like. And I've only seen the first one. Obviously Scarlett Johansson is just super hot and you get to see her in a freaking tight leather suit for 4 movies. You won. Take the W. Take a break. Reset everything. Come back to it when everybody hungers for those kinds of movies again. But they just couldn't do that. So they just keep making shitty ones, it sounds like. Except for the Spider-Mans. But the Spider-Mans are kind of on their own
Did you see what they did recently with the Spider-Man movies?
No, what'd they do?
They brought back all the Spider-Man.
Oh, they put them in one movie, right? That was
Yeah,
the
they put 'em all in
multiverse
one
one.
movie. Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, people love that one. People say it was a dream come true.
That's when they did Miles Morales, right? The Black Spider-Man.
No. That was Sony.
Sony owns Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's I thought Spider-Man Into the Multiverse had all the Spider-Mans.
Well, there was a one that Marvel made where they did all the live action Spider-Man actors all in one movie.
So they had Peter Parker and
Well, they had all 3 Peter Parkers because they're all Peter Parker.
what about Miles Morales?
He's not in that movie because he's not in that universe.
That's the animated one, isn't it? The Miles Morales one.
Yeah, he's in the animated ones. I'm talking about the live action ones, like the real actors, you know? You remember all the actors
Yes,
for the
Tucker, I
Spider-Man
know
movies?
the real actors, but I haven't really seen them since I'm trying to remember. Tobey Maguire or whatever. The Hobbit.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
And then didn't Zac Efron, wasn't he Spider-Man one time?
Hold on. There was 3 Spider-Man. I'll look it up. Spider-Man.
People are definitely slapping their face at just like how chronically wrong I am about all this stuff.
Spider-Man.
Great.
See
Kids just love it when
first.
it's
Oh, here we go. Destroy the effigy.
Don't be stupid.
They had better audio quality on the blowhorns in Red Dead Redemption or Red Faction 2, one of my favorite games ever. Cutting edge AI in that one. I actually learned. Okay, no need for gunfire.
Run.
2023, $100. Then pay with your blood. Where's the weak point on this thing? I ran into a wood nymph yesterday. Okay. You have a favorite? The original Tobey Maguire? Yeah. Don't people really like Tom Holland as Spider-Man?
Yeah, but everybody knows Tobey Maguire is the best one.
So he's still considered the best.
At least I consider him the best. A lot of people consider him the best.
Well, you said everybody.
Well, no,
Who's the least favorite amongst most people?
I don't know.
Okay.
My favorite's Tobey Maguire. I don't know where the others are.
Which one's your favorite Spider-Man movie?
I don't know.
Which ones have you seen?
I've seen the original Spider-Man. I've seen... Does Marvel Spider-Man count?
I didn't know they were different. There's 2 different Spider-Mans, a DC and a Marvel Spider-Man?
Oh, wait. Right. So, I watched Spider-Man in Civil War. That's when he was first introduced into it.
Into the
So
Justice
that's when
League?
That's when they...
Oh, wait, no, the
Justice
Avengers.
League is DC.
DC's the Avengers. No, Marvel's the Avengers. Justice
Holy
League is
crap.
DC.
Holy crap.
Is Spider-Man Marvel or DC? He's Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's owned
Spider-Man's
by Sony
Marvel.
and he's part of Marvel. Yes.
Yeah. Because Marvel made a contract with Sony that they can use Spider-Man, but Spider-Man is still property of Sony.
Yeah, okay. So what are you talking about when they introduced the Marvel Spider-Man?
Well,
This game is lagging so bad.
I messed up there because So what I meant to say was when they reintroduced Spider-Man, because when they reintroduced Spider-Man, they used Tom Holland
Okay.
as the new Spider-Man, and he was first introduced in Civil War, from what I can remember, and then he made another appearance in Endgame, or not Endgame, Infinity War and Endgame, and then he had his own movie with Andrew Garfield and
Just go
Tobey
back to
Maguire.
this. Oh, we're gonna fight the Rook. Hey, let's see if we can punch the Rook to death with how easy the game is right now.
Alright.
Dude, this game is just not working right now.
Yeah, it's not running very well.
Go, go, dildo. Do whatever you do. Where is he? He's still just trying to scare us.
Yeah.
As soon as we punch him to death, let's fast travel back to the safe house for the second mission.
Yep, he's here.
Okay, he's behind the effigy. I see him. Okay, he died in 3 punches. That is not how the Rook is supposed to work.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense to me. Of course, I'm gonna take that.
All right.
Dang.
What'd you get?
I got a shotgun.
Sweet. What was it called?
A lockjaw.
Ooh. I fast travel back to the safe house.
Alright. Lockjaw.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's only 2 safe houses left. There we go. High quality commentary. I don't recognize this safe house. Oh well.
Nearly the same thing.
Let me double check that we're only got the 2 left. Yeah, believe it or not, only 2 left. We can do it. Starting a new episode.